Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another edition of Real Family Talk. This is your host, Jay Real. Hope everybody's having a great evening out there tonight. It's a little wet and rainy in the city beautiful here in the city of Orlando. So if you are driving in Orlando, I hope you're being safe out there. It is wet, and as everybody and anybody who knows who's been in Orlando, lived in Orlando for an extended period of time, the people go crazy when it gets to raining outside. Everybody seems to lose their minds, it seems sometimes. And I don't know, people just don't know how to drive in the rain. And especially if you're traveling on I-4 in the city, whew, that's the last place you want to be on a rainy day in Orlando.
Definitely want to be there.
That's why I will be taking another route home this evening. I do not want to be stuck in the city beautiful. I hope everybody's having a great evening. Like I said, just welcome who's in the building with me. Jeremy's in the building with me right now. What's going on, Jeremy?
Nothing much. I'm good. I'm here.
You here? That's
Somebody's on the way.
Somebody's on the way.
Somebody's in the building.
So okay, somebody else is in the building. They'll make their way here soon enough. Yeah. Real quick, man. We're gonna jump into some hot news stories that have been going on the last couple of days. Talk about Jason Collins and some of the issues that have been going on since he's come out. A couple of things as well. Tim Tebow, a lot of people going crazy in the sports world, especially because Tim Tebow finally got cut by the Jets. I mean, it's about time, but we'll get to that in a moment.
Why I got to be about time?
A lot of people going crazy about that. In due time, brother, in due time. And how you doing, Miss McCray?
Hello, everybody.
Oh, Miss McCray's in the building.
Excuse my tardiness.
It's okay, Miss McCray. For you, Miss McCray. For you. So real quick, though, also the White House Correspondents' Dinner was this past weekend. And I don't know if anybody caught any of the highlights from that, but I thought this year was actually pretty funny between Conan O'Brien, who hosted the show, and then President Obama's was making a few jokes as well. Go check it out. You can go and they got both of those guys' speeches up on the internet. You can go check them out. But I just kind of wanted to throw out some of the highlights from both gentlemen this past weekend. Like I said, good stuff. Anybody that doesn't know what the White House Correspondents' Dinner, it's basically a time where the president along with the press corps basically get together and they just have a really good time. They kind of make fun of current events in terms of themselves and the issues that they're having between the press and the government, and just kind of have a good time with it. Conan O'Brien, who hosted the show, he has a good time making jokes again about the president, making jokes about the media, making jokes about Congress. And so it's just their time to just kind of get together and have fun at each other's expense for a little bit and take a break from all the pandering that they do on each side of the fence, no matter what side you're on. So just a couple quick jokes that were mentioned. The president especially, the first kind of thing that really caught me off guard is the president, in his first joke, what he does is when he came up, of course, they played that presidential music, da, 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 blah, 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 blah. But right before he went on and played about a 30-second to a minute clip of a DJ Khaled song. All
Wow.
I do is win.
That's funny.
Classic.
That's funny.
Yes.
That was right. So right before you went, it went from da 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 da, and then all I do is win, no matter what. I was like, okay, all right. Well, the president got a little jokey joke in him, and then gets to the podium, and his first response was, Rush Limbaugh told y'all.
Hip hop was gonna take over.
So that was one of the jokes that the president had. A couple others. Of course, as you know, there are a lot of people buying negative ads related to the president and, spending lots of money. So he called out one of those people as well by the name of Sheldon Adelson. And he said the man spent about $100 million of his own money last year on negative ads. And he says, he said, you really got to really dislike me to spend that kind of money. He says, that's Oprah money. Sheldon, you would have been better off offering me $100 million to drop out of the race. Now, he said, I probably wouldn't have taken it, but I would have thought about it. And then he sneaks in, Michelle, she would have took it.
Like, look, Barack, go ahead and walk away.
I'm with Michelle. I think I would take the $100 million. It's just the presidency. Who needs that kind of headache? That's what I'm saying. Who needs that kind of headache? Who's the headache that comes with that office sometimes, especially for $100 million? And then just a couple other quick things. He said the History Channel is not here. I guess they were embarrassed about the whole Obama is a devil thing. He said, of course, that never kept Fox News from showing up.
Right.
Then he says they thought the comparison was not fair to Satan, talking about Fox News. They were offended. They thought Satan might have been offended at the idea that he looked like Obama. So there's a few things, just throwing some things out the president has said. Like I said, it definitely seemed like he had a good time with the crowd, and they had a good time with him. And just I want to mention one of the jokes that Conan O'Brien did. He was talking about the president, talking about how, obviously since he's been president, his hair has gotten a lot whiter. And so he chimed in, his hair could have been a member of his cabinet. Because if you watch any news about the president, one of the things that he catches a lot of flack for is the fact that most of his cabinet is white. As a matter of fact, they say there were more minorities on the George Bush cabinet compared to the president's, and so the white hair could have certainly been a potential member, according to Conan O'Brien. So, that was this weekend, the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I found it incredibly hilarious. I think you'd find some humor in it, too. Just like I said, a moment in time to take a break from the madness and kind of poke fun at one another. Moving on. So some of these hot topics that have been going on, again, they've been talking about Tim Tebow. Jeremy, you're a Tim Tebow defender, aren't you? You're a Tim Tebow defender.
No, I'm not necessarily a defender.
You're not a defender? Okay.
No, I'm not a defender.
You're not a defender? Okay. Well, he got cut from the Jets this week.
Yeah, that was coming. Everybody knew that.
Everybody knew it was coming.
The draft showed you that.
The thing that I found just ridiculous, though, is the outrage that football players, ex-football players, I should say, are having, some sportscasters are having, at the idea that the Jets basically cut him to see if they could trade him during the draft, and see if they can get an extra draft pick out of him, is what they did. Found out they couldn't. So when the draft was over, they cut him. And so the outrage, though, comes from the idea that now, because of where we are in the season, the free agent period is over, and pretty much NFL rosters are filled. And so they were saying, a lot of people are complaining, saying he's being done wrong because they waited so long to cut him. And again, really? He's been done wrong? Like Tim Tebow is the first player that got cut after the draft.
That's what I'm saying. That's just the business.
Exactly. And
in all fairness, depending on how you look at it, he was given the option by multiple teams, they said, to move to tight end, but he didn't want to do it, which I understand. If you feel you're a quarterback, stick to your guns and be your quarterback. But he declined, so therefore nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him to be for the quarterback position, let's say that. So, you pretty much chose his fate.
Right, because I did hear that too, that people are offering him to be something else, but he wants to stay being a quarterback. But clearly, if you've watched the man play quarterback, it's a wonder. Like, who is surprised at this? Who is surprised that this kid
no one
can't play quarterback in the NFL? I mean, really. I had to laugh. I have a buddy of mine at work. He swears by Tim Tebow. That he's going to be a starter one day in the league. But he says to me the other day, after hearing this news, he says, make a bet. I bet you Tim Tebow is going to be a starting quarterback next year. Like, really? Really? Like, Tim Tebow had 8 good games in a season, and everybody swears that if he gets an opportunity, he's just going to be, the greatest thing ever. When I make a comparison, I think about Vince Young. Okay, Vince Young, like Tim Tebow, is not maybe the greatest passer, if you will, in the game. But like Tim Tebow, and the argument that they make is he's a winner, right? He had those 8 good games and he won, right? Mm-hmm. In spite of everything. Now, Vince Young basically did the same thing in Tennessee for 2-3 seasons at least?
Yeah, he well, his rookie season, he showed out. And I believe the following year he took him to the playoffs again. Then he got benched.
Got some issues.
And they started the season 0-6, and they kind of threw him in there. And he saved Jeff Fisher's job and basically went on like a 10-game win streak, took him into the playoffs again. So
the man's got at least three good seasons.
He's actually he's more proven, to be honest with you, than Tebow has been. But it's always, when you're doing professional sports anyway, it's never just on the field stuff. It's always,
right.
There are rumors of alcoholism with Vince Young, and
I agree. I agree that he's got some potential off the field
issues.
But my point is, as a player and a winner, he's obviously a much better choice than a Tim Tebow. But where's the outcry for his new job?
BY, yeah.
Where's the give him a chance? He's basically washed up in the league when you have a proven winner, Vince Young. All he did was win in college. He willed his college team to win. When they won the national championship, he basically put the Tennessee Titans on his back when they were winning and had those successful seasons. But yet, no one makes the argument for him. But it's Tim Tebow.
It's Tim Tebow. It's Jesus's.
Is Jesus his son or something?
Yeah.
Y'all wrong for that.
You would think he's Jesus.
Tebow never said that.
It was
that's one thing I give him. He never said that.
He has not. He just professes his love, and that's great. I loved him. I enjoy Tim Tebow. I wish him the best. One comment I saw once it was announced that he was traded. Somebody said all the Jets organizations going to hell for letting go of Tim. I'm telling you, people are protective of this guy.
It just doesn't make any sense.
He's like the angel of football.
It doesn't make any sense. Even people, I heard somebody argue today, but he's a proven winner. He proved he can win in college. He won the Heisman Trophy. How many Heisman trophies sitting at home?
A lot of people won in college.
I mean, what was the guy named that went on and played basketball and was a point guard for
Charlie Ward.
Charlie Ward.
How you
exactly.
know who Charlie Ward is, man? Come on, how you gonna disrespect the man like that?
Hey, man, I can't remember all these names.
He just won the they had a big tournament style, March Madness style bracket. Who was the best college football player in Florida in history, and he won it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
but
beat out Tebow.
My point was Charlie Ward, Heisman Trophy winner, didn't get a chance in the NFL. So it's like, this is nothing new, you know what I mean? But everybody wants to specialize as if he got kicked out of the league because he professed his love for Jesus or something. Like, really? Like he's the first player to do so. So now they're rebelling against his open profession of love for Jesus. Like, give me a break, man. Either you can play football or you can't play football.
Right.
And clearly the man's shown he can't play football, or at least can't play quarterback, let's say that, in the NFL. And they're letting him go. 407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 is the number. But, yeah, I mean, I know we're in Florida. A lot of Gators around in Florida, and Gators, they love some Tim Tebow. Let's be honest.
You got Gator repellent.
In the NFL, Tim Tebow is not the solution. Is not the solution.
See, the thing about Tim Tebow is, Tim Tebow is a God-fearing man, okay? And when you are a God-fearing man, you have the anointing over you. And that's why you don't hear what you hear for Vince Young. Vince Young went crazy. Don't people forget about that. Tim Tebow never went crazy. He is a God-fearing man. And when you have the power of God, that's all you need.
And he still can't play quarterback.
We appreciate that.
Which is why he's out of the league. But yes, we do appreciate that logic. But again, he can't play quarterback in the NFL. He's out.
I think somebody's gonna pick him up though. I really do.
He's gonna get a shot. Everybody gets a shot.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying they're trying to give him a shot in Canada. Here's the one thing I would say, and not for a football purpose, but if I owned the Jacksonville Jaguars, I would bring Tim Tebow and have him on the team. I might even let him start. And I tell you why. Again, he can't play quarterback, but that's fine.
And ain't nobody else doing that.
What he can do is sell some tickets.
Especially in North Florida.
But he will sell some tickets, and being that he already does not have a quarterback really in Jacksonville.
Right.
Why not?
I would.
Why not?
If I was a
Why
franchise
not?
owner,
Brand new owner, his second year, make
Yes.
some money.
Please.
That's the one place that I would take Tim Tebow and let him start. Make some money, man. And
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you might have an 8-8 season, but you'll have
8-8.
8-8, 4-12, something. I don't know.
Yeah, and a sold out.
But you
stadium.
have
Did
eight
they
sold out
draft the
games.
whole Ravens team or something that we ain't know? Talking about 8-8.
Well, 4-12, whatever. You ain't gonna make the playoffs, but I'm saying you have at least 8 sold out home games, and that's got to be worth something.
Hey,
Especially for a player, you only need to pay a couple $1 million.
Hey, that might be the setup for them to get out of town. You know how they do. You know how them owners, them billionaires do. That might be the setup to get out of town. We don't want them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, definitely. 47894-1680 is the number. How you doing, Mr. King?
You know, when you start talking about Tebow, I got to be in the building and defend Tebow because I am a Tebow fan. He is a Florida man, and he's a God-fearing man. So I definitely have to defend him. I'm doing good, though. I'm a little wet, but, you know, it's cool. We needed that in Florida.
We did. It's been a couple of weeks. Well, I know about a week since it rained. That's what it do this time of year, though. Let's we'll move on. We'll move on from Tebow. Jason Collins. So obviously, if you've been paying attention to the news
Who's
lately, Jason Collins.
Don't nobody care about this.
Jason Collins came out as the first. They say he's the first active professional sports player to come out as being gay. You say, Mr. King? What you say, Mr. King?
I said, did you get my email?
I did see you.
Oh, okay. So you already know what's going to happen if we having this conversation about this nonsense. Don't nobody care about this brother coming out and saying that he gay. This man has been a nobody in the NBA for over 5 years. Now all of a sudden, you know what? I want to come out the closet and let everybody know when I pat you on the butt and say good play, I didn't really mean good play.
So when you say nobody, you talking about to the public?
Right.
Or talking about to the NBA?
Because I mean, he's
Anybody. It's more news that matters in the
obviously.
world today
Obviously.
besides this dude who is homosexual that decides to come out and say I'm homosexual after I ain't did nothing in the NBA. Don't nobody know me. I ain't going to the hall. Don't nobody know my number. Don't nobody know my name. I said I was in the NBA. They wouldn't even know who I is. But now that I've said I'm gay, it's a story everywhere. And this story will continue for who knows how long. Next person come out, oh, remember Jason said it, and now he's saying it too. Like, you get no respect. I don't know why it's a story. I don't know why we talking about it on this show.
I'll tell you what we're talking about.
Please
brother.
explain
it's
to me.
newsworthy.
It
No,
is
it is not.
newsworthy.
No, it is
It's
not.
It is
newsworthy.
newsworthy.
No,
It's
not.
newsworthy because it changes the landscape of what sports has traditionally been thought of. Again, because it's going to be a change for him for sure, and it's going to be a change for NBA because assuming he gets re-signed, which I don't know.
I doubt
He's
it.
a big man, and teams like to have big men on the bench for that 11 to 12 man to come in. And now, see, I read his article. I don't know if you read his article. I went and read his article to see how he presented it. For those that don't know, what he did is he wrote an article in Sports Illustrated, and then they published it. I'm black and I'm gay. I think it was, if I remember right, it was the exact title he used. And so he wrote an article, and they published it in Sports Illustrated. But I went and read the article, and I'll say this. First, I was actually taken back. He's actually a pretty good writer, assuming he didn't get any help with that. But
He did go to Stanford.
This
Right.
is Sports Illustrated. You think
Him
he
and
know
his
help
brother.
with it?
right.
Him and his
mean,
brother, they did go to Stanford.
They did go to Stanford. It was really very well written.
So you trying to say people at FAM can't write?
Yeah, we're not talking about fans.
I know Deltas can't, but come on.
There you
We're talking
go.
about Stanford University,
There you
basically an
go.
Ivy League school.
It is basically an Ivy League school, but it was a well-written article, and basically his point was that he wanted to basically free himself. He really wasn't trying to. He did want to raise his hand, as he called it, and be that first person, since nobody else did it. But when you read the article, he actually really just came into his own about all of this really about a year ago.
Yeah.
When he really started to come out to friends and most of his family. He said he picked a few family members to kind of test the waters, and then he told the rest of them later. But he's only really been out for himself about truly out anyway, for about a year. So I think what it is he's just trying to be open and honest about who he is, in hopes of, as they always say, that the next person will feel a little bit more comfortable about doing it for themselves, or a little bit freer, that they're not alone. And
that's my main problem, because the way society is working, they are trying to make it okay for you to be gay. It is A-okay. Just let us know you're accepted. And though you are accepted, the children who see this NBA player and how children admire and look up to these NBA players, they don't see it as it's just him. They see it as, oh, well, I can too. You look at LeBron and you feel, hey, I look at LeBron and how he plays, I can do that also. Now you have this no-namer who has been nobody in the NBA. Who knows if a Kevin Durant or if a Dwayne Wade comes out, now it's like I've been looking up to him. If he can do that and he can still be this, maybe I can just be gay. I'm not going to be explicit. Maybe I can be homosexual and, do whatever, which is okay, but it's still not okay to be homosexual. I'm so sorry. And that's why I feel you can look at it now and go back 20 years and you can see how it wasn't okay for women to be homosexual. Now you look at it today, it's A-okay for a woman just to kiss your best friend. Now they're trying to do that for men. And that is my problem, especially in sports.
So
I don't want you patting me on my butt.
Is it a problem because of the men, or was it a problem when the women did it too?
Hold on.
Right.
407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 is the number. Go ahead, sir.
Oh, there's never a problem with women. I mean,
See? Okay.
That's,
See?
but
See?
no.
That's the
Wait,
problem.
let me explain.
Ring the alarm,
Let me
please.
explain. With women, we all know
Break it down.
that they can do whatever they want.
Really?
Everybody knows that you a woman. Well, I mean, I know like the things we read last week. I know you can open that door for yourself. But since you're a woman, I'm going to open the door for you. And that's just how it goes. Women get certain privileges that men don't get, and coming out the closet.
So
is
that's
what-
so that's privilege they get.
Hold on.
yeah,
hold on.
I don't want to be posting you up in the paint, and I feel something.
Hold on.
I don't want to be boxing you out, and I feel something.
Hold on.
I'm good on that.
Can you
on.
pick me?
Go ahead, Miss McCray. Go ahead, Miss McCray.
Let me start with one. You keep saying nobody. This man has been in the league for 12 seasons. You might not know his name, but guess what? He's been getting a check. He's in the NBA.
Right.
He has reached a goal that thousands, hundreds, millions of players won't get.
And I wonder how he got there.
Why? You did. First of all, this man, he just came out.
Okay.
Nobody knew.
No, that's not true.
So that didn't bother.
That's not true.
What do you mean that's
Just
not
because
true?
you didn't know don't mean nobody knew.
But what I'm saying is there wasn't an issue with his team that he's been playing for 12 seasons.
He ain't been playing for that same team for 12 seasons.
Right,
No,
but
he's played on 6
he's played on
teams.
6
6
teams.
teams,
But
right.
he's not the only person who's only played on 6 teams in the NBA. Oh, they get traded all the time.
Right.
My point is,
Right.
you keep bringing it down saying there's nobody. Yeah, he's not Kobe, but guess what? He's in the league.
He's not even a Nate Robinson.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Everybody has a role on the team.
On the bench, you a cheerleader.
But he
Well,
plays.
Actually, he is. He probably made more money in his career than Nate Robinson has.
I
I'm
doubt
just
that.
saying.
Because Nate Robinson is a dunk champion. So, no, he
doesn't-
does
it
not.
doesn't
You get a
matter.
bonus.
That
here.
don't
Hold on.
Yeah, you get a bonus like $25,000, bro.
Okay, that's $25,000 you didn't get.
Hold on a second. Here's what you got to remember. One, he talked about this in his article. Yes, you're right. He's 12 years later. He's 12th man or 13th man or whatever on Boston early in the year, and then Washington in the latter part of the year. But as he states in even his article, he says, there's 3 degrees of separation from Jason Collins, because that's how long he's been in the league.
Right.
So you're right. You may not know Jason Collins today, but go in the league. They know who Jason Collins is in the league. You know what I'm saying? Players know him. He's well known in the league because, as everybody knows, the league is a family. So they know him in the league, while we might not know him at home, but they know who he is. So there's plenty of people that have been around him for 12 years and whatever the case may be that have pretty much already established opinions about him. But, they know who he is.
But see, the thing is about
They know
it,
who he is.
one
Just
thing
because
I
we
learned,
don't, they know.
Right.
They have practice squads. That's one thing I learned from my brother going to Florida State. He wasn't on Florida State team, but he was on Florida State practice squad. So that's not saying that he's not good, but that's just saying that you ain't good enough to be on a team and play and be on TV. And that's what I'm trying to say
But
about
this guy
brother.
was
He
on
was.
a team,
He was.
and he was
He
on
didn't
TV.
play.
Yes, he did.
Excuse me, Ms. McCray. How
is
many
12 years later, bro.
years have you? I watch basketball.
Mike,
Never seen this brother in my life.
Brother King. You see,
Mister. Thank you.
Okay, whatever, Mr. King. Did you know he had a twin brother?
I don't care nothing about
exactly.
this brother.
He had a twin brother.
I
They
care
came
about
out of state.
cereal.
They came out
I
of
care
Stanford.
about food
You talking
stamps.
about
I care
Final
about this,
Fours,
this
you
fake
talking about Elite
bombing.
Eights.
I don't care about no gay man coming out in the NBA. I don't care nothing about that. Why is it
What
in the news?
What I'm trying to tell
It's
you
ludicrous.
is he didn't come out of nowhere. This man been in the Final Fours. He's been in the Elite Eights. To people who follow basketball,
right.
he was a household name.
I'm sorry. I follow, and I don't do that. I don't
Okay,
follow
so
basketball.
if you didn't watch college
I'm a
basketball,
Steelers fan.
if you didn't watch college basketball 10 years ago, then that's your problem.
Okay.
But people who watch college basketball, they knew who he was. They knew who they was coming out. They knew him and his brother both got drafted.
Why are you coming out?
And 12, I ain't got
his
nothing. I don't,
choice.
That's your choice.
That's his thing.
Okay.
His whole
That's
coming
your
out thing
choice.
is irrelevant. What we're breaking down to, you acting like he just came out of nowhere.
That's
Right.
not the point of what we
But
have in the story.
he-
the point
he
is
didn't-
this
he
brother
didn't come out of
came
nowhere.
Hold on.
said he was homosexual,
Yeah.
and I don't care that you
But
homosexual.
that's
Why
you.
is it in the news?
That's you.
you.
Why is it a Sports Illustrated?
That's you.
Why?
Mike, you
Who
read the paper?
cares?
You read the paper?
When you read it, and
No,
you
no, you
used-
don't.
and you
Hold
used to
on.
give it to me.
Real quick. Here's why. Again, why is it news? I respect that you could care less, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Of course.
But it's news because it is the first time a professional player, male player, has admitted to being gay.
And that's news.
why it's news.
That's
And that's news.
because
Yeah,
It is
that
news.
because
is
it's the
Just 'cause-
hold on, in sports, it's one of those taboo things that has not been addressed. There has never been any active player willingly admit that he is gay. That's why it's new. That's why it's a sports news story.
Right.
I respect the fact in the WNBA, I think half the WNBA is gay.
Over
Probably
And I-
more.
and
It's
I
more
think-
than that.
Over
It's
half.
more than that.
And you know, and they've come out. I mean, Brittany Griner, is that
Griner.
right?
Griner.
Brittany Griner came out just a couple weeks ago and admitted that she was gay. It was a blip.
She said she was open.
No, she said she
No.
was
She
gay.
said
Come
she
on,
was
dog.
gay.
Come
From
on.
what
She
I-
said
from
she
what I-
was open. She
From what I
said she's as
understand.
open.
Which
Come on,
was
man. Come on.
which is
But my point is,
Brittany's cute.
well,
Okay.
what my
I didn't
point
say she
is
wasn't, but
that
you know what she's looking for.
I will climb up there.
well, what my point is that it's nothing new in that particular league. But for the male leagues, for MLB, NBA, NFL, NHL, has not happened, and so that is why it's news. Because I mean, they've been talking about it for the last 4 or 5 years. When is the first active male player going to come out as being gay? He was the one. That's why he's getting the press.
Right.
Now
Makes no
whether or
sense.
not it's important, whether
It's not.
it
Who
doesn't.
cares?
That's not
in
the
your
point.
world.
That's
Oh,
not
no.
the point. In
It's
that sports
more-
world, it is. Now
It is.
here's my question about the whole thing. Obviously, everybody's going to come out and say, they support him, and how great it is, and good for you, blah 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 blah. My question is, when are we going to hear some truth? That's what I want to know. 407-894-1680. What's the truth?
I
The
just
truth is,
saw. I'm sorry.
everybody, I doubt very seriously that he's going to walk in the locker room at some point, and every single person in the locker room is just going to be like, awesome. You understand?
Hold
Like,
on.
it's not gonna
Let me stop you
some
for a second. Let me stop
celebration.
you for a second.
I
Chris
just I don't
Boswell.
believe that.
Just
Chris
like you
Boswell.
said, he's been in the league 12 years,
They already knew.
right?
Right.
I would
They
say
already
that.
knew.
They knew.
I'm sure every team he's been on, even if the whole team didn't know, one or two of them guys probably knew, like, okay,
Exactly.
Knew based on what? The man said he's been hiding it for all these years.
You can't
Yeah,
hide
but-
that.
but-
you,
hold
you,
on.
you can only hide so much.
Thank you.
It's not
Hold on,
like
hold on,
he
hold
walked
on.
around by
Hold
himself
on.
all the time.
Hold on, his own brother said he didn't know.
His
So
own-
why
This is
everybody
true.
else in the
This is
NBA
true.
know?
Well, once you get drafted and you go to this place and you go to this place, how I know my brother? I don't know what you're doing all the time.
Thank you.
Hey, but wait a minute. And guess what? He's not the only one.
Of course he's not.
He's not
not.
the only basketball player, football player.
There's tons. Oh, don't go to
hockey,
football. Oh,
baseball.
Lord.
He's just the first one to come
Yeah,
out and say it.
and it's, well, I would say I saw a tweet that well, I don't know if y'all know who Larry Johnson is. Grandmama, for y'all don't know, he said he wouldn't be comfortable in a locker room with a gay player.
See, you expect honesty from Larry Johnson.
Thank you.
You
Larry
respect
Johnson
you
and
respect
Karl
honesty
Malone.
from anybody who played in that era. Real was real and fake was fake.
But guess what? Even in that era, they were slapping high fives and slapping booty
Yeah.
to a gay man.
Yeah, they were. But
mean-
but the difference is they was just gonna be honest. If somebody said that's why nobody came out back then because they
Yeah.
already knew. If somebody said, "Hey, I'm gay," and like, "Okay, buddy, you got to go." That's what they would have said. They would just go be honest about whether it was right or whether it was wrong. That wasn't even in the equation.
It's just no point of you putting your personal business out there. I love Miss McCray, But I don't want to know
let you
her
back.
personal business of what you doing in your bedroom. That is
Right.
your business. You do not have to write a Sports Illustrated story because you went to Stanford and you got some good writing skills. So you want to write about how you homosexual and you been hiding it on the bench playing for all these teams because I've been sitting on the bench. I ain't played nothing.
Shut up, Mike.
Like, come on, who cares, dude? It's other wars going on in Syria that I care about. I don't care about your sexuality, buddy.
You following the playoffs?
Who?
Are you following the playoffs?
Yeah.
But it's wars going on. What you care about
Right.
basketball for?
Cause I can't be naked. You know, I can't have
Hold
all
on,
that bearing on me
let me
all the
let me
time.
expand this. I was listening to Glenn Allgood this morning. He was talking about this, and somebody called in. He brought up a good point. It's like everybody want to jump on this thing, talking. Oh, they want to say, oh, you know, what he's talking about Christians. You know, oh, he's gay, this today. But is anybody addressing? Let's say LeBron James. He had 2 kids out of wedlock.
Thank you.
Who and the 8,000 other people in NBA who have all these kids out of wedlock. Say nobody's talking about them. So are we go boycott the playoffs because they are sinning too?
Right.
That's a sin.
That's not my point. My point is I don't
understand.
care.
I'm just
Play basketball.
making a
Hold on.
statement.
Speaking to that. Oh, go ahead, Ms.
To follow, and that was going to be my point later on. The basic thing is, it kills me when folks get all icky and hypocritical on, oh, it's a gay thing, but yet, is there a ranking of sin? Do you get like 50 points taken away if you're gay, and then 10 if you lie and cheat? So to the man that's cheating on his wife, to the man that has, like you said, 4 or 5 kids, baby mamas, and to those premarital sex, raise my hand. Yeah, I'm not the only one. And I hear pastors saying that's a lifestyle choice. It's lifestyle. It's a lifestyle choice to cheat.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle choice
It
to lay in bed just dating people you're not married. It's
But-
a lifestyle
but-
choice
but
that we're
you-
all sinning.
But
So
nobody comes out and makes a ESPN article and gets all this news.
That's a
And-
separate
but the-
issue.
and
though,
that is
Michael.
my only
But the reason,
problem.
the only reason they have them is because all that stuff is the norm. It's the norm to have an NBA player to have 3 or 4 baby mamas. It's the norm to figure that they got a woman in every
Which
city.
is
Well,
the
we-
problem.
That's the
we
quote
need-
unquote norm.
We need to go to Wilt Chamberlain and say, Wilt, we don't care that you had sex with over 1 million women.
But we
Did
do.
we say
That's
that?
a
We do.
sin.
Did we say that?
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't.
I
No,
did.
we didn't.
No, we didn't.
I was
Everybody jumping around like,
Right.
was it my mama?
Right. Folks giving him high fives.
She was
and
in
stuff.
Philly back in the day.
That's a sin. It's a sin. So it kills me. And Facebook, Facebook, Twitter, especially ever since this came out, folks have been like brand new. And it's like, wait a minute, you got like 5 kids from 5 baby daddies.
That's not what bothers me. What bothers me is this
But
is
that doesn't bother you?
nonsense. What? Man, that's your business.
But it's a
Your business
Well, when people
is
say,
your
"Oh, it's
business.
a sin,"
That's their business.
okay.
And your business
I
is your
hear you.
business. But I don't want to hear about you talking about it's a sin on Sports Illustrated. I don't want to see you get no interviews from Oprah. I don't want to see no. It's like, come on, seriously. Just because you came out the closet about your sexuality
Well,
12 years
you
after being
gotta-
in the NBA, we supposed to care now?
Again, I
You
respect
finna get a
that.
Hall of Fame?
Hold on a second. He's not going to the Hall of Fame.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Watch.
No, it's not. Not
First
today.
gay man in the Hall of
Who
Fame.
going
he's
to
not.
who?
He gonna be in the Hall of
You're
Fame.
not going
Watch.
to the Hall of
No,
Fame
he's
just
not.
because you said
He
you
might
did.
be
No.
going to a Hall of Fame, not the one, not the basketball
He
one.
going to the G Hall of Fame.
No, he's not. 407
The Homo Hall of
894
Fame.
407-894-1680. 407-894-1680 is the number. He's not going to the Hall of Fame. But piggybacking on this idea, talking about Christians, I'm sure did you guys see Chris Broussard
Right.
and how he's catching a lot of flack now because he went on with Outside the Lines. He was discussing how it was a sin, to be gay. Not that he had anything against Jason Collins or anything like that, but he just wanted to acknowledge from a Christian perspective, he understands this to be gay, just like, and he mentioned having sex out of wedlock. He talked about that. So he put both of them in the same vein. And of course now he's catching a lot of flack because he's not openly supporting the idea that, Jason Collins came out as gay. ESPN even went so far to release a statement behind him to acknowledge that they don't necessarily agree with what he has to say. So what about
And
this?
who owns the ESPN?
What about this idea?
Probably
that
Rockefeller.
Disney.
Disney owns ESPN.
Oh.
It goes back to this idea that you can't even speak the truth again in today's society
Yeah, you
because
can't.
if you're not saying what the as they say
That's
the
what I was
liberal
gonna say.
media
It's-
wants you to say.
It's not that you
then
can't speak the truth. You can't speak a certain truth.
Basically.
you can't speak the truth because you're not saying the accepted policy of the day.
Right.
Then you're a problem. So now he's a problem. I hope that he doesn't, one, get suspended,
Right.
Fired or
two,
something
get
like that,
fired
yeah. Right.
over his ability to speak. I mean, they brought him on the program knowing, they said it was well known and documented what he had to say about the issue. They brought him on television anyway.
They knew what he was going to say.
And now we're backtracking and he's wrong and he should be accepting.
Now we got another news story.
Right.
That's why he was on TV. It's just like you say, why you bring Rush Limbaugh ESPN? Because you try to get some ratings. That's why.
Yeah. I like you said, I hope he doesn't get fired or suspended or anything, because guess what? Everybody has a right to their opinion. Mr. King, you say you don't care, and that's great. That is your opinion. If you have an issue, you think it's a sin and it's disgusting and all those, that's your opinion. The problem comes when you're bashing someone and you're treating them poorly. You can disagree and say, hey, I don't agree with that lifestyle. I don't agree with what you're doing. But when it becomes homophobic and hurtful and people killing people because of who they are and who they're loving, that's when the issue comes into play. We have a caller.
How you doing? We have a caller tonight. What's your name, caller?
Angelina.
How you doing, Angelina? What's your comment?
Evangelina.
Evangelina, I apologize. Evangelina. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. What's your comment?
Yeah, I just can't understand why did he come out.
Thank you.
Because if he was coming out to help the gay and lesbian lifestyle, then that made a whole lot of difference. But he's not coming out to say he's clean and he's not attracted to the opposite sex anymore.
He coming out for attention.
That's right. And it is an abomination unto God,
Mm-hmm.
because in Luke 16 and the 15th chapter, it says, and this is what Jesus said, ye are they which justify yourself before men. And that's what he did.
And
But God knoweth your heart, for that which is highly esteemed among men is an abomination unto God.
Tell them.
Unto the sight of God. And then they skipped out to the 17th verse and said, and it is easier for heaven and earth to pass than one title of the law to fail. So God is not going to back down on what he says.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe what he says when he says it's an abomination, that's what it is.
All right, I appreciate your comment
right.
tonight, Evangelina. We thank you for calling in.
And I
Yes,
completely agree with what she's saying, because if you were trying to come out and better the homosexual community, this is not the way to do it. Now, if you're trying to come out and get some attention because you ain't did nothing in the NBA all the years you done been in there, you trying to get in the Hall of Fame, then this is the way to do it.
You just mad because this man not Shaq, Kobe,
No, I'm not.
LeBron.
Why would I be mad?
Because that
I'm
obviously
mad.
you mad.
This is why I'm mad. I am mad because this is news in America. You go out. So hold on. If you go outside of America, nobody wouldn't even report this nonsense.
Yes,
but
they would.
in America,
because they so much more open over there.
I guess so. But in America, this is news. This is not news. We have other issues that we should be worried about. Nobody talking about the bombing in Boston no more because of this new big story now, and because of the president and Jay-Z and all that craziness. Nobody's even talking about that fake bombing in Boston no more. And that's my whole thing. When they got you looking left, you need to be looking right. But everybody looking left at this gay man who just came out the closet in the NBA now. And this is nonsense. And we shouldn't even be talking about this craziness because there's other stuff that we need to be talking about.
It's newsworthy,
No, it ain't.
Mr. King.
No, it ain't.
Just let it go.
407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680 is the
Oh, my
number.
God.
And let's be
Luke
honest.
17.
Lying is an
reason-
abomination.
the reason
Sleeping
why-
around is an abomination.
The reason why we're not talking about
How about
the
that?
Boston story no more is because, as far as the press is concerned, the man responsible is arrested. He's in custody. His brother that was also responsible is dead. And the FBI, the Homeland Security, and whomever else is investigating the story is still investigating the story. So as far as the new information at this point, there is none to report, to keep talking about it every single day, because the story is the people responsible are captured, and now the real work is in. How did they get this? Was there clues? And blah, 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 blah. They're doing that research. It's not done in the public. It's not supposed to be. It shouldn't be. It should be done. And then they let us know when they find their findings. So that's why they're not talking about Boston no more, sir. But again, I take issue with, and again, I'm not, to Jason Collins, to each his own, brother. If that's what you want to do, that's how you want to do it, whatever. I could care less. But it is a story because, again, he is the first. Now, what I question is, you say, oh, this doesn't help that community. Well, it actually does. And again, I could care less. But it does help that community because it's whether he's LeBron or Kobe, it really doesn't matter. He is on one of the biggest stages in this country, which is he's an NBA player. So that is a stage in this country that, again, like Ms. McCray said earlier, millions of people shoot for that stage. Millions of people fail. He's one of the few thousand that made it. So it is a story because of his platform.
And it really makes me question how he got there now.
Because he's a player.
That's what you think?
If you go, first of all, go find a computer and go look him up.
Mm-hmm.
He was an all-star in high school, which landed him a scholarship, he and his brother, to Stanford.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? He was drafted
by
the Nets.
So let me get this straight. Oh, by the Nets?
Yes.
Oh, wow. They've been so good.
Hey, guess what? Are you in the NBA? Are any of us in the NBA?
I'm 5'6".
It doesn't matter, but any
I missed it by 3 draft picks.
Exactly.
I'm just saying.
And a bad choice.
If I want to sprain my toe,
that's not
I would have
something
been in the NBA.
to
I'm sorry.
Your
to
foot,
wallow
my big
at.
toe.
Like,
My
it's
big
a
toe.
big deal.
And I'm bow-legged.
And your talent.
That's all right.
You sprain your talent too.
But 47894.
I can sit on the bench. That's all he do is sit on the bench like a shit. You fouled him. That's all that he does.
Hey.
He's
1680.
on the practice
47894.
squad.
1680 is the number.
Well, I like I said again. I was listening this morning, and y'all, Pastor McCray called in. He was just saying how people like was referencing how the guy was saying how a lot of people are trying to put the homosexual to the forefront, like there's no other sins, and he was saying, Pastor McCray was saying how mature Christians teach about all sins, and just saying like you're not. It's not hating the person. Your hate is it's the sin that you don't like in them, and when you speaking, of course we do believe as Christians it is wrong that he will go to hell if he continues this lifestyle, but that's not the end all be all as far as he can be changed if he has a desire to be,
right?
If he has a desire to be, but that's the thing is like now don't get me wrong, Brother King, I hear you,
Mr. King,
Mr. Brother King, I hear you. I hear you saying like, why is this news? But in today in this society, the question would be, why would it not be news?
The reason why let me answer that question. Because we got other things that matter.
It's always other things that matter.
We got it, brother. We got it, brother.
Yeah, we got it. It's always other things that matter.
That's my whole point.
Real quick,
I don't mind him
mic.
being homosexual. Do what you do, but keep it to yourself.
We got it, brother.
We don't care.
We got you. Speaking of some other NBA news, what do you guys think about Dwight Howard in Game 4? Got sweep. First of all, I'm so happy they got sweep in the playoffs.
They shouldn't have been in the playoffs anyway.
I celebrate that, but I'm so happy. But in Game 3, a 31-point loss. In Game 4, he gets kicked out in the second quarter, I believe it was, right? Third quarter.
9 minutes left.
And then they lose by 20.
Right.
Like, really, this brother think he's a superstar in the NBA. Like, you couldn't have willed that team. That team to me was better than the Magic team that they had.
No, they
weren't. It wasn't better than the Magic team they had?
And the reason is, one, it was the age.
Definitely.
Steve Nash can barely walk, bro. His back is like that bad.
They got younger brothers on the team.
He can barely walk, but ain't no Steve Nash is on the team.
No, they don't.
And even Steve Nash can't hardly walk. It still ain't nobody better than him coming out. Well, I'm saying as good. Well, I'm not. Okay, let me say it. Steve Blake has been playing better than a hurt Steve Nash. I will say that. But other than that, there's nobody on that bench coming off go beat the Spurs.
But see, you got to think.
I'm not even talking about beating the Spurs. I'm talking about winning the game. How about that?
You got to beat them. You got to beat them.
How about just winning one game?
No, it's not. No,
they old.
It's not.
The Spurs are old too, so you can't really blame it on age.
The Spurs not old. They got 3 old players, and they got a bunch of young horses around them who know they role and do what they supposed to do. Listen to the coach and do what they supposed to do.
Well,
that's why they spank their tail.
And plus, like you say, it's the coach. That's one of the best coaches in the NBA, in my opinion.
Yeah, if not the best.
If not, I mean, you got to give it the field because he had Jordan and Kobe. But this brother didn't have none of that, and he still won. He created a dynasty that's still balling. But I think Orlando was better because they put players around Dwight.
That's the wrong one.
And, well, no, actually, they had Reggie. They had some good 3-point shooters, and that's what you need around Dwight. And the Lakers just don't have that. But, coming from Orlando, I would understand why y'all hating on that man.
I ain't
hating on him. I'm not hating on him.
Jim,
I'm just saying the
I
team was
didn't want
bad.
the Lakers in there.
The team was bad, and I'm happy he lost. That's all
This
I'm
brother
saying.
said, I'm happy they got swept. That's what he said. That sounds
I
like hate
am.
to me.
I'm extremely happy they got swept.
That's hate.
Extremely happy they got
Sound
swept.
like somebody who don't like the Steelers.
Let me ask this question. One of the other conversations they've been having, they say, I know he's going to get a max contract, but is he worth the max contract based on his play this last season? And then obviously he had some good years when he was in Orlando, but is he worth the max contract?
Easy, yes, easy.
Why is that? Why you say he's worth it, man?
Oh, okay.
Does he change the team?
Does he change? He can change the team. The problem with Mr. Howard is, one, he's on the wrong team, and he has the wrong coach.
Definitely the wrong coach.
That's the problem. Now, obviously, he can't get his head right. It was just a bad thing. He can't play with Kobe. He don't got the mental state to play with Kobe. His personality's too strong. He demands too much of him. Dwight ain't used to that. And until Dwight mature and grow up, he ain't gonna never be used to that. So if you ask me, his best bet, he need to go to Houston, get up with James Harden, and maybe they can pull something off. Because that's the only place he'll go, and he can kind of still be a little nurtured. He's not gonna get nurtured in L.A. He's not gonna get nurtured in New York. They ain't gonna care nothing about all that. Just go, what have you done for me this quarter? Not even the game. This quarter, what have you done for me? That's how it is. Maybe he didn't fully understand that when he went into that big market like that.
We don't want him in New York. We good. I don't think he's worth the maximum contract. I think they need to do him like they did Andrew Bynum and let him go. It's like, buddy, you're not worth it. We the Lakers. We'll figure something out.
Bynum a whole nother story. We ain't gonna get on Bynum.
Did he even play this year?
No, he
did not play this year.
Broke knee Bynum.
Right.
Yeah, that's the same thing with Bynum. He's just like Andrew Bynum. He just ain't injury prone like Andrew Bynum. Let him go.
He just like Bynum. I would say he got some worth. And the thing about Howard, but Howard ain't done. He just have everybody gonna have to go through that little stretch, where they kind of just had little off times and
But the refs don't like you, and you can't do nothing in the NBA around the refs. Yeah. And when the refs don't like you, you got it worse than Andrew Bynum, buddy. I'm sorry to tell you.
I'd agree with that.
That's my only thing. At least the refs like Shaq.
Do you think they win the championship if he stays in LA?
No. They're not going to beat the Clippers. They're not going to beat OKC.
Get a laser and fuse Kobe Tennant back together and then bring LeBron with them. Maybe they'll win the championship. But them two ain't winning nothing.
Maybe if he went to
not
Miami.
Not even the division.
If he went to Miami, he might win.
If he went to Miami, yeah, they'll get a ring.
They'll definitely get a ring. He went to Miami.
But there ain't no money in Miami.
Oh, well.
Nah. That
ain't no money. They got to decide what they gonna do.
They got to decide what they going to do. All that money tied up.
Did we talk about the president and Jay-Z yet?
Yes, we did.
We did?
Yes, we cleared that.
When you were late.
Oh, man.
We cleared that.
Punctuality.
I'm sorry about that.
Because
I want.
You know that's a sin to be tardy every week.
I don't know. you know what they say.
It's a sin.
He who cast the first sin. No, wait.
Cast first sin.
No,
you know what they say.
Whatever.
You know what they say. They say read your Bible.
They say Luke 17. Anyway,
they say read your Bible and pray every day. You'll grow.
You'll grow. That might be why you 5'6", brother. Read your Bible.
Actually, no. I'm bow-legged, and I went to the doctor, but the way my bank account is set up. I want to talk about that. If that's okay. I got a rant about that too.
Of course.
Why is the president the Prezi? That's what I call him, Prezi. Addressing Jay-Z.
We already talked about
99
we already talked about
but real quick,
and Jay-Z is one.
Real quick, I'm gonna answer
He
why.
was being
Because
funny.
again, it was the dinner. It was meant in jest, so it was all about being funny.
Right.
And in the spirit of being funny, he was quote unquote aligned to the story due to his perceived close relationship with Jay-Z. And so in the spirit of being funny, he did address it. Because that's what they do at that dinner. They try and be funny, and hence the line that he was used. It was supposed to be funny. That's why I was dressed.
Okay. Why is the black president friends with Jay-Z? Why? That makes no...
You know why?
He is
Because
the
Jay-Z
president.
donates a lot of money to the campaign.
Right.
And if you were the president, he donated to your campaign, you would know him too.
Right.
I need to see a check stub.
And if you just look at you just look at the
You need to see a
president's
check
time in
stub.
office
I don't believe he donated no money.
Didn't you see the fundraiser they had, the dinner he held?
at their house.
I
think they did a
seen
dinner
the
at their
one
house.
in Daytona that what's his name had.
No, actually, I was in Orlando. He held that.
No, I thought that was at Vince Carter House in Mainland.
In
Maitland.
No, it was in Alworth. They had that.
But anyway, it's no secret that the president has invited a bunch of celebrities, not only just Jay-Z, but a whole bunch of them. A lot of comedians have been there that haven't been to the White House before. A lot of black people in general have been rolling through the White House. So that's why it is. I mean, it is what it is.
I wish I would have went.
It is what it is, but that's why he addressed it. Real quick, we only got about 10 minutes left here. Another little story that I saw popped up. You guys hear about the UC Irvine and the Asian fraternity that got reprimanded about using blackface?
This is my thing. I'm finna throw it to Mr. King. Why is this news?
I didn't hear about it.
That's what I want to know.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear
Why
about
is this
story.
news?
This story is new to me.
That's one of the questions I wanted to ask. Should we still be angry about blackface?
This is my thing.
407-894-1680.
If they were sincere in the spirit that they did it in, like they said, I know they were saying, oh, we didn't know it was offensive, but then they said the video, they had a disclaimer saying this is not to be racial.
Right.
Honestly, me personally, I just don't have a problem with it, because it's not like they come up there like, oh yeah, wowza. They wasn't doing all that. Like you said, they was trying to,
for them,
whether it was bad taste or not is one thing,
right.
But offensive, to me, no.
It's definitely not.
Just to give you background on the story, so there's a Asian fraternity, Greek fraternity at University of California, Irvine, California, and they did a video. They were spoofing the new Justin Timberlake song, Suit and Tie. And so they were in the video and they were dancing, and then one of the fraternity members put black face paint on his face, and he was pretending to be Jay-Z during Jay-Z's part. And so in the video, of course, they released it, they put it out, they say they were trying to promote some event that they had going on. And then, of course, once the video was out on YouTube, it went viral, and then all over the campus. And then the Black Student Association on the campus basically ended up sending a letter about how offended they were to one of the deans at the school. And then at that point, that's when the dean stepped in, and now there's an investigation going on to were they trying to be racist, what should be done about them releasing the video. And when I saw the video, I kind of feel like you do, Jeremy. One, I mean, is it a secret that black people don't like blackface? I don't know how in 2013 that's a secret anymore. Between them doing blackface in Europe and then that being a problem, and then we've had a whole number of stories when you think about throughout the years about it. But the one thing I think we forget in today's day and age is we've kind of downsized the criticism of our culture so much that a lot of times people are getting confused as to when to be offended or if they're offended or not. You know, you go back to the word nigga. You know, in today's society, a lot of people don't even see that as offensive anymore, because
which is a problem.
Because across the world, all they know is every rapper that they listen to is saying the word, and so you go across the pond and they're calling you niggas because that's what they heard. So, and I think blackface has kind of fallen into that category, especially, you know, like you said, you look at what they were trying to do. You know, sure, you know, they were trying to be funny, cool, whatever the case may be, or whatever, but to see the outrage that's kind of come from this, I'm just like, it's 2013. Like, I can be a little bit more outraged about some other stuff than this.
To be honest with you, you know, this is my Puerto Rican side coming out. Black people are always trying to complain about something. You know, this is not. Dave Chappelle get on everybody. He get on white people. He get on black people. He get on Chinese people. Soon as somebody say something about some black people that ain't black, now they got to go to the dean and do all this. Man, that's nothing. Why is news? I'm with Jeremy now. Why is this news? This is nothing. Cause some Chinese dude put on some face paint and start singing Jay-Z verse. It was a dumb verse anyway. Like, come on, man. That's not news.
407-894-1680 is the number. 407-894-1680.
I don't even know why they would go to the dean. Why would you go to the dean and get offended? I would have laughed about that and brushed that off. Like, really?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, if I was in college at that time, I would have went to the dean. I would have went to the frat house. If I actually had an issue, I would have knocked on the door and say, we got a problem. No, we cool. We gonna take it down. Okay, well, we cool then.
Simple as that. You got to go to the dean, and because, you know, well, if it was, well,
they go back to that thing, like you said, trying to get attention.
well, no, that's not true, because other way around. Let's say it was a black person and we did something to this nature. White people, Asian, anybody else, maybe not Hispanics, they probably would have came to our dorm. But white people or Asian people, they would have went to the dean also. And they probably would have wrote a letter, and they probably would have did the same thing. So I definitely respect them being professional about it instead of going and doing some higher learning type stuff and just popping up like, you know, what, your ID. I definitely understand and respect that. So, it's cool. I understand the steps, but for them to even care, they sound like they was in their emotions on that day.
Mr. McCray, what do you think, Mr. McCray? You're the voice of reason in the building, right?
Right.
What do you think?
It was stupid. It was a stupid decision. They were trying to be funny. It's not appropriate, so take it off. The main thing, take it off. Should these students be suspended? No. And the one thing they put a disclaimer out. One part they said, we don't think this is racist. We didn't know there was going to be racist, but then they did put that disclaimer out. So they knew. They knew what they were doing.
Somebody knew.
Somebody knew. Somebody knew what they were doing.
Like I said, it's 2013.
So they were wrong. Right. They were wrong. But I like you were talking about the N-word, I have issue with that word. I have issue that it has been watered down to the point where you go over the pond and like you said, it's like, hey, what up, my don't do that. And I do. I blame hip hop. I blame hip hop for the just pushing this word out like it's cool to say.
Well, stop
all the time.
You can't blame hip hop.
That's where it came from.
We don't control hip hop. Universal, Jive, all these companies that are paying these rappers, they're giving you $50,000 each album to say this word, and then you go on your shows and you get $5,000, $20,000 each concert that you do. And they're paying you to say this word. Is it hidden racism? Yes, it is. But you can't blame hip hop.
Conspiracy in everything.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, that is true.
The use of that word is not a conspiracy.
What?
That word is very prevalent within certain parts of the community. It's said just like brother has said, that word is said as well. Nobody needs to pay anybody to say that word. Nobody needs to convince anybody to say that word. That word is going to be said within the community.
Where are you from?
Regardless of who is quote unquote in control of the music industry. While I agree that the music industry is not controlled by us, I will disagree that we're being paid and told to use that word. Nobody's paying anybody to use that word. Okay, that's ridiculous.
It's sad that you think that way.
That's ridiculous.
Because you are wrong. It's just one of them things. When you gonna be blatantly honest about if you gonna be blatantly honest, actually, we in entertainment they've been saying,
and they've been trying to ban the word.
So it's just one of them things. If we're going to be
black people have,
let's see,
NAACP.
So the people who choose to use that word,
the brothers on the corner in Rockaway ain't banning nothing.
That's it's not going nowhere.
But that's what I was going to say. To the people who use that word, me being one of them.
Brothers on Mercy Drive.
If I say if I choose to say that
no album.
If I choose to say that on a recording, and that recording goes out and elsewhere, then I'm talking about the people who are saying it.
In 2013,
when you get it, and when it's recording, it's sent everywhere throughout the world. If somebody comes back at me and says that word, then I can't, even if I don't take no blame, I can't sit here and act like I'm so offended when somebody say it back to me.
See, this is my thing, and this is why.
And I would say this, it just depends. And then in some instances, I can see how it's irritating. It is when you see somebody trying to just go too hard at it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but see, this is my thing though. If I work for Publix has a criteria, and they have certain things that I can do, certain things I can't do, certain things I can say, and certain things I can't say. If you are on a label, your label works for Universal. Universal has the ability to tell you, no, you can't say this, and no, you can't do that. And that's how they do it. You can't even come out with your album unless Universal say, yeah, we approve of your album. And that's why people's albums get pushed back, because once they give it to Universal to see, hey, can we drop this? Can we put this out, Universal? Universal will tell you, no, you can't put it out because we don't approve of it. All they have to do is say, you know what?
Because they negotiated bad deals.
Stop saying that N-word.
Well, here's the thing with that. The music, movies, that's considered arts. You can't tell an quote unquote artist.
Yes, you can.
What to say?
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
You work for me. I'm so sorry. You work for me.
All right, we're time is winding down on us, brother. Nobody is paying them to say that word.
You don't think that?
Do they make money?
You don't think that? Yes. Don't say it ain't true. Because I'm telling you,
they're not being paid.
I'm not asking for your opinion.
Specifically,
I'm telling you a fact.
Like
that they're
said,
being paid.
'cause if
It's
those-
called house slaves.
Hold
All
on.
right, all right.
Because if those brothers on Mercy, they still be saying
They're
the
not
same
getting
thing.
paid to do it.
But
Hidden
we're wrapping
racist.
down. We're wrapping down here. We want to thank everybody for listening. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter, Real Family Talk on both places. Check us out on YouTube, Real Family Talk. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening. You can follow us on Facebook, Real Family Talk. You can follow us on Twitter, Real Family Talk. The website, realfamilytalk.weebly.com.
WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.